Hi, my name is Kira Shea, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I thank God that you're here, and I pray that this YouTube channel will bring unity, honestly, through testimony and through transparency. I'm here to let you know that God gives a voice to those who feel like they are voiceless, that they don't matter because He did it for me, that He loves you and that He is good and everything that comes from Him is good. He transforms. I just want to share what He's doing in me and through me. I want to share that with someone else, and I pray that it encourages you. I pray that this channel encourages you and that your life be transformed. I pray that His light shine through me, honestly, and His love shine through me. I just want to start out with probably my testimony that if He can use me, if He can do this in me, then He can do anything in you, that He can bring you out of a pit of depression, oppression, anxiety, negative thoughts, insecurity. He brought me from it, and He's still working on me and working through me, still healing me. And I thank God for that. You know, just starting from the beginning, I didn't have a difficult home life. My mother loved me, still loves me. My father loved me in the way that he could, that he knew how, which I understand that now as an adult. And, honestly, there was love at home. It's just sometimes when you're not exposed to things, or which I'm sure a lot of other people have dealt with this, when you don't have the understanding that there are people in this world that don't have the same heart as you, that can just set out to be hateful, set out to be evil to people. When you don't understand that, of course, you end up getting hurt. And with me, as I went off to school, I just noticed that I always was picked out to be picked on, which I'm sure this is many others' story, but I just couldn't understand why. And I had such a genuine, loving heart. I wanted to do no harm to anyone. It was just this real innocence about me as a child. And I don't know if that's why I was so different. Not to say that others didn't have that, but it just was really hard because of that. I was very naive, I will say that. But it was just the heart God gave me. And now as an adult, I'm just grateful that He gave that to me. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. But as a child, of course, I couldn't see it that way. So I was different. I stood out. I did not fit in anywhere. And it was hard. It was hard. I dealt with people who I thought were friends. You know how people can be like you're the butt end of a joke all the time. I dealt with that a lot. Was called stupid. It's a whole lot of things. And I just, over time, the voice inside of me, my opinion, the thought that I had, or what my mother would tell me, my mom would say all the time, Kiera, you're beautiful. I didn't see it. Over time, it just really diminished. And I just became really insecure. And, I just went into this kind of hole, this bubble, to where I felt safe, in a bubble, a cave where I felt safe. And I'm sure many others do this, but I did. And, my heart turned the opposite. I always had a soft heart. It was always there, but I just built up this wall, which many others do, to where, I was hateful before people could be hateful to me. I tried to be anyway. And I just dealt with a lot of hurt, a lot of things ended up happening. I dealt with a lot of hurt. As a teenager, I drank and I smoked, just whatever, and, I dealt with a lot. I was suicidal. I would cut myself, take pills. And it was to the point to where when I was 17, I actually ended up in a mental hospital for 3 days. And, even then, that wasn't a really a wake-up call, because the whole time when I was going through my transitions, just different things that I was doing, I was crying out for help, but I did not know how to voice that. I did not know how to say that. People would look at me and call me crazy, think I was crazy. And I just really did not know how to voice how I felt, how to put that into words. So if my family members thought I was crazy, cut off my hair multiple times, sitting in the mirror, in the front of the mirror crying. I would stand in front of the train tracks and wait for the train to come, but I could never do it. Stand in front of cars. I went through a lot, and I just did not know how to voice what I felt on the inside of me, the hurt that was just on the inside of me. And I just thank God now that in my ignorance, He kept me safe. He covered me. I thank God for a praying mother that loved me through all that. And I know that many people think that, oh, that's what a mother's supposed to do, but not all mothers do that. But I thank God for a praying mother that even though she did not understand, she stayed and she prayed and she trusted God with me. And now, me being a mother, I couldn't imagine how hard that would have been to watch your child to go through that. So I thank God for her. And, at a certain point in my life, I had been in church all my life, had been taught about God my whole life, but mostly what I was taught was that if you did not live right, you were going to hell. I was not really taught about the love of God, how God sees me, what He says about me. I wasn't taught that. So I decided, when I was going through all that, I decided, at some point to pursue God myself, because there has to be more to life than this. Like, I can't just live this. I don't want this. Is not my desire. God has always been my heart's desire. Always, always. He was always right there. And He was so patient with me, and I'm so thankful. But I decided to pursue God for myself, to start praying for myself. And it wasn't just this big event that just did it. I was just tired. And so, I started a couple years ago, I think back in 2018. I was still smoking and drinking, but I just would pray and I would worship in the morning. I would just have this time cut out and I would worship God, just worship. A lot of times I didn't even know the words to say. I just worshiped God and I just thanked Him. I didn't really necessarily believe that, I guess, that I had any power within myself. Not that I had any power, but that my prayers were that powerful, I was just thankful that I was still there and that he was listening to me. I came into that understanding that he was listening to me, that he does listen. And, you know, honestly, I started there and I decided myself, okay, well, I'm going to stop smoking and drinking. And at that point, my husband and I, we had gotten married the year before. And my husband, I wouldn't say he's my high school sweetheart, but we got together when I was going on 17 and he had just turned 19. So, and a lot of these transitions we went through together. He had his own personal struggles that, thank God, God brought us out of so much. Y'all, I can't even explain it. And even then we didn't realize how alike we were, but God brought us together and we got married. And I was still smoking and drinking, but I wasn't there was no more suicide attempts, things like that, but I was still severely depressed and still longing to fill that void that was in me that only God could fill. And at a certain point, of course I pursued it for myself, and I just decided I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop drinking. Like, I want to fully be in this. I can't. That was one thing about me. I couldn't straddle the fence. I have to be hot or cold. I can't straddle the fence. There's no point, So I decided that. And during this time, I had wanted a child, and it was prophesied to me that I would have one. And, I ended up, right after that, actually, I ended up pregnant with my daughter. And, it was something I had prayed for, but I was just amazed that God had heard me and that he cared enough for me to do that. And that's a testimony within itself. But, fast forward, I have her. And being a mother brought so many things out of me that I did not know was there, but the Lord always knew. And, but I also, in being a mother, I felt like I was losing myself. I don't know what I felt like I was losing, but, I stopped praying like I had been. I had an experience with God, but, it just, nothing had gotten down in me like his Holy Spirit. It's so, I tried to go back to old ways, but was never comfortable. And so I tried that for a little bit, and my husband stayed with me, was with me through all those transitions. And I thank him for that. Trying to find who I am as a mother. And finally, I think it was November of 2021, I decided, that I was done. This was it. Like, God has always been there. He's always been my choice, my only choice. And isn't it a great choice? But he was it. Like that. This is my life. I'm going to give it all I got. I'm done. I decided that. And ever since then, I've went through so many different changes, so many different seasons. And he's been healing me little bit by little bit. The more that I gave him, the more he healed me. The more he gave me revelation about who I am. And even in this past year, he's done a great work in me. I mean, just a quick work. He's transformed my life. I don't have anxiety anymore. I don't, have those negative thoughts. I don't hold conversation with the enemy anymore in my head. I don't have those negative thoughts. his voice is amplified, and I thank him for that. His love, I feel I'm overwhelmed with his love every day, joy and peace that I cannot explain, that surpasses any understanding, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm thankful for that, for just that much. Because it's something I never thought would happen, and I'm becoming someone I never thought I would be. So I thank God for that. And I'm here to tell you that if he can do that in me, that he can do that in you. That if he can heal me from these wounds, that he can heal you. And he was there for every event, anything that ever happened in your life. He was there. And he knows, and he has a purpose. He has a purpose, and he has a plan. I guarantee you, I can promise you that he has a plan that it will work for your good. That he loves you with an unconditional love. And I can't explain the feeling. I can't explain the fullness, the wholeness that God gives you. But I'm here to encourage you to change your life. I'm here to encourage you to seek him, and it will change your life. I'm here to tell you that he hears you. And I don't want to be repetitive, but I'm telling you, he hears you. Even the smallest prayers, he hears you. And if you would just give it over to him, he will take it. If you give your life over to him, you think you have a story, but he rewrites your story, and he does it so beautifully if you give him the pen. He does. I can promise you that. So I pray, and if you've gotten this far in this video, I pray that you come with me on this journey, and I pray that you are encouraged to start your own, that you will never be disappointed. He never disappoints, and he loves you. So I thank you, and I pray this video has encouraged you, and there will be much more to come. And I can't wait to see you all again. So take care, and God bless you.